What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. The Nationals quite literally have Spider-Man out in right field. Dylan Cruz, as a rookie, already looks like a future superstar. Speaking of superstars, Aaron Judge may or may not have put the Paw Patrol slump to rest. And I forgot to mention that the Yankees, they're giving a guy almost $20 million for basically not doing his job. Meanwhile, Ellie De La Cruz just made some history on this Grand Slam. I'm kind of surprised by the history. We'll talk about that in a second. Fernando Tatis Jr., this is my hot take. He's still a top 5 player in baseball when he's fully healthy. Again, that's my hot take. And the White Sox, wait until you hear what their GM said about building for 2025. Spoiler, they won't be. So again, we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. And guys, don't forget, Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Save yourself 20 bucks off using code Fuzzy. Recap is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. If you guys download or sign up using my code Fuzzy, they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. They'll give you this free pick'em for an NFL game. Use some of these options or don't, but download using code Fuzzy. So we have some interesting breaking news because I don't know if this would have happened if Francisco Lindor hadn't gotten hurt in yesterday's game. We'll talk about that in a second. But the little brother of Ronald Acuna Jr., Luis Angel Acuna, has been called up. And again, I think this is a just-in-case situation because we don't know if Lindor is 100% ready. And also, I don't think Luis Angel is ready to make the big leagues because, yeah, he's got 7 home runs and 40 stolen bases in AAA, but he has a 69 WRC plus. That's just a fancy way of saying he's been 31% worse than the average minor league baseball player. He's not ready, but he might be a precautionary platoon guy. I don't know. So let's talk about that Mets game from last night, shall we? Francisco, not Lindor, Alvarez with a 3-run home run in the 5th inning. That wasn't even a bad pitch. It was a ball. He just got his barrel inside on a curveball. Break out the OMG sign. Nola, he's had this issue for as long as I can remember. He is amazing for 4 or 5 innings dating back to the Girardi and Kapler days, and then he falls apart after facing the lineup a 3rd time. Brandon Nimmo just socked a 3-run home run as well. And by the way, shout out to the Philly fan for not throwing it back and giving it to a young Mets fan. Francisco Lindor, he added another run on an RBI double. He didn't slide at second base, and that's kind of what caused an injury. Apparently, his back kind of got messed up when he was trying to avoid the pickle. Lindor stayed in the game only momentarily. He was taken out a few moments later. Jose Quintana, he had 4 strikeouts over 7 scoreless. He also did not walk anyone. Harrison Bader, that is the 3rd 3-run home run for the Mets in one game, and Pete Alonso smoked his 32nd home run. He has a 126 OPS plus. How much is Pete Alonso going to get? Brandon Marsh also had a 3-run home run, so there were 3-run home runs galore. But the biggest story, obviously, is Francisco Lindor. He left with back tightness. He takes pride in playing every single day. I hope that he doesn't miss time, but if he does get a few days off, I guess Luis Angel Acuna is going to be the guy that gets some reps. I know this might seem like a weird game to jump to next, but I promise you there is a point because the White Sox GM put his foot in his mouth big time. The White Sox, they're trying not to go 0 for 16 over their last 16 at home. A nice little running grab for Dom Fletcher to save Crochet from extra bases, but he couldn't catch this one. Zach Geloff, he peppered an RBI double, and Daz Cameron, he sprinted all the way from first base to score. Geloff is batting .305 with 6 extra base hits and 4 stolen bases in September, so he's getting hot. Jacob Wilson, he's going to be so good. He makes the barehanded play, and Lawrence Butler, he's already showing that he's going to be a star. How many games in a row is that? 21 consecutive games with the base. He's batting .370 over that stretch with a 10-15 OPS since the start of July. Brent Rooker, he's been just as hot. That's an RBI bloop, and this game's a wrap, okay? So I'll show this for Sox fans, though. Luis Robert Jr. made a few web gems, one in the 6th inning, another in the 7th inning. Mason Miller, he closed it out. He had 2 strikeouts. He's got 25 saves on the year. So the White Sox, they lose their 16th in a row. They're now 33-115, and this is me to my GOAT Grady Sizemore. Someone's got to save him.
I'm going to get you out of here. I promise you, I'm gonna get you out of there.
I wanted to show that game early on in the video because I have to talk about the recent quotes from Chris Getz, the White Sox GM. He had an interview during that game. He said that the White Sox will not be in on free agency. He said this live on TV during one of the worst seasons we've ever seen in sports history. Roll it.
We're not going to be working heavy in free agency. We've got guys out on the field right now that need to improve their game. A lot of these guys are young players and need to make the adjustments to be more productive.
Why would any fans go to games? And it's not even like they have crazy high ceiling rookies and all of your capital is in your top 4 prospects. I like their top 4 prospects, but they're not going to spend any money. Maybe Chris Getz is doing this on purpose to fire up the owner of the White Sox and kind of call him out. The Royals just proved that you can fix your team in 13 minutes in one offseason. All it takes is spending money. Crazy concept, right? All right. Before I get too upset, Jacob deGrom is back, and he has a lead. Nathaniel Lowe, he ripped one through the first base and second base hole, and then Josh Young, he had a little dribbler, so it's 2-0 Rangers. Jacob is making his first start in the big league since last April, and look at that 99 paint for his first strikeout in over a year. That's 99 past Randy as well. Jacob, I mean, sometimes you just forget how lethal this guy is. The slider almost looks like a changeup. It has so much vertical break to it, and now he's just straight up having fun. The former shortstop, yes, Jacob deGrom was drafted as a shortstop. He's making plays on the bump. Now he's breaking out a changeup. He had 4 strikeouts on the night. He was only allowed to go 60 pitches, but 3 2/3 scoreless, 41 of 61 for strikes. Wyatt Langford, that is a towering home run. And then Nathaniel Lowe with his second RBI of the knock. He goes to right field again. Seattle, they mustered home a few runs. J-Rod, he's up with 2 on. He's been struggling, so he's no real threat. He says a 3-run game winner. J-Rod's biggest swing of the season. Andres Munoz, he collected his 21st save of the year. J-Rod went 4 for 5, and by the way, he's got 15 home runs, 22 stolen bases. That's a career year for most, but in J-Rod's case, that's a down season. Jacob deGrom is back, and I know that Buxton has played this year, but he's back off the shelf as well. I think that Correa just got activated a few moments ago, so that's bad news for the rest of the league. TJ Friedl, he missed a bunch of time as well, but he did not miss that baseball. Buxton, the Buck Truck returns. I did not come up with that saying, by the way, but that's his first home run in a while. He missed 26 games after missing a bunch of games earlier in the season. He's got 17 home runs and a 140 OPS plus. Here's TJ's second base hit. This was an RBI bunt. Okay, old heads might have a point. Bunts are still a lot of fun to watch, and we might need more of them. Bailey Ober could not flip it home, and then he left a slider over the plate to Ty France. That's an RBI double. TJ, he motored all the way around from first base. And oh no. A broadcaster brought up the fact that Ellie never had a grand slam. That was an instant jinx. His 24th home run is a grand slam, and by the way, that's history. No Red switch hitter has ever hit 24 home runs in a single season, but the Twins, they're trying to make a comeback. The rookie Brooks Lee, he poked in 2 more runs, and if you're not looking, please look, because TJ Friedl, his third base hit, also brought in his 3rd RBI, and he looked like Neo from Matrix. He avoided the tag. The Twins, they have to lock in soon. They're 3-7 over their last 10, and because of that, they got to really watch out for the surging Tigers. We'll talk about the Tigers game in a moment. I'm going to get this Rockies game out the way because we have yet another grand slam. Cubs fans, please close your eyes. Okay, close them after this 2-run double from Cody Bellinger. I always love seeing the 2019 MVP ranking. The Rockies did steal one back. Brandon Rogers had an RBI double, but one man won this game for the Rockies, and his name is Hunter Goodman. He blasted off for a 430-foot 2-run home run. He's one of the best minor league baseball hitters I've seen in quite some time, and he's showing off all the tools. Here's another RBI. Tovar, how in the world did he hit that? He used his driver to golf that one out. Cubs fans, do me a favor, reopen those eyes for just a second. Bush, he had a monster game. 3 hits, he tied it with this swing. Okay, now close them again because Hunter Goodman with the go-ahead grand slam, 7 RBIs in 1 game. He had a 930 OPS in the minor leagues. That's over almost 300 games. He can for sure swing it, but I've been told by a few rookies this year, kind of behind the scenes, that MLB pitching is just vastly different, so it might take him some time. Did the Astros play yesterday? Okay, they did. We've talked about the Mariners already. The Astros are taking on the Halos in Anaheim, and the young Italian did not have his best start. After a bases loaded walk to Altuve, Jordan, he's got a sac fly, and Bregman, he brought out the Breggy bombs. He crushed a 2-run home run. Both him and Pete Alonso have had down years heading into free agency, but they're still both being very productive. Bregman's up to 23 home runs. The Angels scored a few to make it close. Mickey Moniak with one of the more rare home runs you could possibly ever imagine. That's his first home run off a lefty this year. He has a 38 OPS plus versus Southpaws. Yusei still turned in a quality start, 7 innings, 3 earned runs, but he did strike out 6, so that's pretty impressive. Mickey, he wanted to pull a Tatis. He wanted to hit a home run and rob a home run. It was in and then out of his glove. Perfect timing, and he just straight up missed it. Hader now has 30 saves on the year. He had 2 strikeouts, and his ERA is now 3.3 because he has a 2.6 ERA and 74 strikeouts his last 54 innings. The Astros have won 2 games in a row. The Mariners, they could not gain ground. They're 4.5 games back. Staying with teams trying to gain some ground, the Orioles and the Royals are trying to do exactly that. We'll talk about the Royals game after this Orioles and Tigers contest, and I don't want to put you guys to sleep, so I'll just spoil it. This was it. Kerry Carpenter's solo home run in the first was it. Kerry now has 15 home runs and a mind-melting 160 OPS plus. The openers for Detroit, Bo Brisky and Brant Herter combined for 4 scoreless and 0 base hits. I didn't even know that Herter existed, but he almost went 6 frames with 8 strikeouts, including striking out the side in the 6th. Of course, he's going to get a standing ovation. Still no base hits after he left the game. Brennan Hanifee, again, I'm sorry, Tigers fans. I don't know who these guys are, but he got Alley to roll over for a double play. Down goes Cowser. That is now 8 hitless innings. Tyler Holton, the closer, he got 1 out. Then 2 outs. Kobe Mayo struck out as a pinch hitter. All they got to do is get Gunnar Henderson. That sweeper was right down the pipe. That is a triple for Gunnar Henderson. The tying run is 90 feet away, but Anthony Santander strikes out Holton. Now has 8 saves. The Tigers are 21-9 since August 11th. That's the best record in baseball. Before we see if the Royals gain some ground on the Guardians, we got to head to the Bronx now because a certain streak might have ended in grand fashion. Not before Masataka Yoshida and Trevor Story hit the power button a few times. Masa can really swing it. He put Richard Fitz in line for a W. Fitz, by the way, has not allowed a single earned run in his first 2 starts. Masa's hitting .290 with the 120 OPS plus, and I really miss this Trevor Story. He was the best shortstop in baseball from 2018 and 2019, and injuries really slowed him down. The former Yankee Greg Weisser, he stunk it up. There was a walk, another walk, no one's out, and leadoff Glaber, he's a brand new guy. That's an RBI. Soto, he got walked on 4 pitches. They learned from the game before. Avoid Juan Soto, get to the slumping Aaron Judge, but the curse has been broken. The Paw Patrol drought is officially over. It ends in grand fashion. He went 16 games without a home run. He goes back out for the curtain call. Luke Weaver, I got to show all 5 strikeouts because he had 3 strikeouts in the 8th inning, 2 more in the 9th. Step aside Clay Holmes. There's a new closer in town. Luke has 21 strikeouts and a 1.2 ERA his last 14 appearances. The Yankees are 3 games up in the East now. Here's something that won't be too fun to talk about, especially if you're a Marcus Stroman fan. He's being paid almost $20 million to now be a relief pitcher. Maybe it's because he sucks in Yankee Stadium, but they're skipping his next start. He will be available out the pen. Maybe it's a Nestor situation. He's only going to miss a start or 2 and then go 4 innings out the pen, but the strikeouts have fallen off a cliff. He has 109 strikeouts in 148 innings. He also has a career high in walks per 9, so everything is regressing, including the velocity, the fastball velocity. He has a 5 ERA in Yankee Stadium, and it's probably not smart to start him. And I don't know if he's going to have higher velocity in the pen. Maybe he can empty the tank more often. That might help him. But yeah, $20 million for a relief pitcher. Marcus Stroman stealing money. The Royals might have a chance to do something that Baltimore couldn't do because the Guardians are back to looking like a T-ball team. Logan Driscoll, he destroyed a 2-run home run, and a lot of people have been wondering, what is that collar thing around his neck? Well, he had a concussion back in 2020. His mother is also battling brain cancer, and it's just very important to him to keep himself safe, and I guess that collar kind of helps with concussions, and it brings awareness to brain safety. I think that's pretty cool. Another home run, Jonathan Aranda now has 5 extra base hits the last 6 games. Zach Littell, more like Zach, made the Guardians look like a Little League team. 6 scoreless with 5 strikeouts. Did you know that Zach Littell has allowed just 7 runs his last 7 starts? David Fry, we thought that he had a 2-run home run. He didn't. He missed by a few inches. It's an RBI double, and it wouldn't have mattered because Edwin Uceta, he's back from suspension. He had a 5-out save. Come on, Guardians, stop looking stupid. The Guardians broadcasters said they looked tired. Even Stephen Kwan missed the game with body fatigue, and the Royals are licking their chops with that last sentence. They did not look tired at all. Yuli Gurriel, he's 900 years old, driving in RBIs. Kyle Isbell, same thing. Isbell's was a double. Pham, he had a double as well. Okay, it was a single, but he doubled their lead. I'm really bummed that the Guardians couldn't snag Tommy Pham before he went to the division rivals. Salvi, what a damn season. He's having the most valuable season of his career, according to Fangraphs. 27 home runs, 103 RBIs, and actually not the worst framing catcher in baseball. Kyle Isbell, another RBI extra base hit, this time a 4-bagger. And check out the framing on this pitch from Salvador Perez to help out Alec Marsh. Salvi stole that strike, and Marsh was just straight up dealing. Frame or no frame, he had a lot of whiffs, 11 punch-outs. I didn't even know that Alec Marsh could do that. Adam Frazier had a home run. He's a former Pirate, by the way. He's completely awful. He has an 82 OPS plus since 2022. But hey, there you go. The Royals are now 81-67, just 1 year after going 56-106. See White Sox, all you got to do is spend some money. It's not that hard. San Diego is no stranger to spending money, and they gave this guy $340 million when he was like 21, 22 years old. Fernando now has a home run in 3 consecutive games. He's still a top 5 guy in baseball for me when he's healthy. He was on pace for a 30-20 season with 1 working leg. Xander, wait, I said that wrong. Second half Xander, there we go. He's a different beast in the second half. That is an RBI double to the gap, and they're just rubbing it in because Dylan Cease only needed 1. 1. That call stings because not only are you battling Dylan Cease, but I guess you're also battling the umpire. A brutal call, but it is history. That's 1,000 strikeouts for Dylan Cease. He's the 4th fastest to 1,000. Robbie Ray was the fastest ever in history. Mike Yastrzemski, see ya. Elliot Ramos, he's caught guessing, and down he goes. Logan Webb, he might have hit the red throwing meter, which, okay, just a weird second half from the Giants. Cease, he kept on shredding, and his guys actually hit the green on the throwing meters. Ramos, he was cut down at home, and the umpire had to wait for it because he almost got knocked over. And just a heads up, if you guys need some late fantasy stolen bases, this Brandon Lockridge kid can fly. He stole a base on a 99 cutter and Patrick Bailey. It's basically like stealing off prime Yadier Molina. That's how good Patrick Bailey is at throwing out runners. I'm not even being hyperbolic or dramatic. Patrick Bailey is him behind the dish. Manny, he gets the free RBI double, and I guess luck was on San Diego's side because check out how the game ended. A comebacker off of Estrada. The Padres are 83-65, which means that they just gained a game in the NL West. Muncy, he botched a Ozuna ground ball, and you can't do that. You can't give Matt Olson guys with runners on scoring position. He's spraying extra base hits. He's got 12 with 17 RBI since August 25th. Gio Urshela, that's his first home run as a Brave. Landon Knack is beside himself. I actually kind of like chuckled. The dude was just mad squared. Poor Teoscar Hernandez, he was mic'd up for another just multiple home runs while he's mic'd up. Jorge Soler with his 18th home run. I think Landon, he's not mad because he's just accepting his fate at this point. Miguel Rojas, he stole one back and he knew that it was gone as soon as he made contact. But we head to the 8th where Whit Merrifield deked out Brent Honeywell, so he made him balk. Harris, he jolts a double. Whit Merrifield can score easy. So yeah, the Dodgers lose a game, but they're still 4.5 games up on the Padres. I don't care, though. Do not count out the Padres or the Diamondbacks to make a comeback in the NL West. But Arizona, they're taking on Jackson Chourio and the Brew Crew. Chourio, he rifled a leadoff double. 20 years old and leading off for a playoff contender. That's stupid talent. Nothing came of it. I just wanted to fanboy a little bit. Freddie, he's in a ton of trouble. Talking about Freddie Peralta. The bases were loaded for Pavin Smith. We know the week that he's had. He missed the barrel, but it's still a sac fly because Corbin, he's way too fast. I mean, credit to Blake Perkins. That was a rocket throw. Freddie, he got McCarthy to chase, so he ends the jam. And Erod, Eduardo Rodriguez, he had 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. He strikes out the side in the 2nd. He also had a clean 3rd. But Rhys Hoskins, he's trying to get some payback for the strikeout earlier, and he got it. He needed that because he's hitting 121 with 33 strikeouts over his last 25 starts. Now he's showing off the leather. Rhys, he saved the lead, and Freddie, he's in trouble again. He had 4 walks in this game. Pavin, 2 on. He smoked it deep to center, just not enough juice. Pat Murphy, he stuck with this pitcher and it paid off. Devin Williams, he now has 12 saves on the year. Remember, he missed basically the entire first half. The Brewers are 23 games over 500. St. Louis started this game with 4 consecutive hits off of Kevin Gausman, and Arenado, he blooped in the game's first run, and this next clip kind of sucks for the rookie, Thomas Saggese. He had a hit stolen from him because Nolan's old man speed got him hosed at second base, so it's an RBI fielder's choice, not a base hit. The Jays, they wanted some of that run-scoring stuff as Vladdy, he smoked his 41st double of the season. He's batting .328 with 95 RBIs, and now we're tied because Spencer Horwitz, he lofted a sac fly to left field. Kirk, he clutched up to give his team the lead until Thomas Saggese, he retied it with his first big league tater. He had 26 home runs in the minors last year, 20 home runs this year before getting called up. He can really swing it. Nolan Arenado, he put his whoa, that's a putout actually. Vladdy, he saved the game with not just one defensive gem, but another in the 10th inning. Alejandro Kirk, he wins it. No idea why Brennan Donovan was trying to make that grab because there was 1 out. Even if he caught it, it would have been a game-winning sac fly. I mean, I respect the effort, but I would have just let it drop. Maybe that's just me. You guys want to see some speed? I guess I'll have to show you after this leadoff. Dylan Cruz. Dylan Cruz is literally Spider-Man. He is already one of my favorite players in baseball to watch. He goes 10 out of 10 hustle on every single play, and look at him. He beats out the infield single. He's off not just for second base, he's off for third as well. He's got 8 stolen bases already. The Nationals went up 1 after Edward Cabrera took his eye off the ball. Cruz, he scores, and whoa, hold up, 2 scored. Jose Tena was right behind Dylan Cruz, so that means that this home run makes it 2-1. Otto Lopez, he could be a dude for the Marlins. He's batting .310 since August 10th. Luis Garcia Jr., the breakout season continues. 16 home runs, 21 stolen bases. Xavier Edwards had one of the worst defensive games I've seen from a shortstop in quite some time because he not only botched that one, so Millis is on. Millis then got picked off, and he's just showing out. Just don't do what Xavier Edwards is doing. Jacob Young, he gets a free RBI because of all of that mess as Kyle Finnegan now is 37 saves. Guys, that does it for today's recap. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, do me a favor, leave a like on the video, send it to a few friends if you feel like they would enjoy this series. Thanks for growing the game of baseball with me, and enjoy the web gems.
Off the fists, Alonso chases it and snags it.
Here's a high fly for left center field off the bat of Laureano as Edman goes near the wall and he leaps up, makes the catch.
Hit another ball hard, right center, Noel on the run. He leaps up and makes.
Volpe serving this to right. Will it stay fair? Will it stay up? It is caught on the run.
And Stevenson, left side, diving stop. Lewis, he'll go second one. The return is well hit. Deep right center, up at the wall. Here he shoots this one, and diving is